Thank you, Charles.
Well, any time that you have a voter system, there's going to be somebody who figures a way to subvert it. I had an amendment bill drafted that I called Real ID. It did not provide any exceptions to any voting. Everything had to have a photo. You could have a driver's license, which is, in my opinion, a good document. It also provided that if you did not have a driver's license, the Department of Public Safety would be required to issue you an identification, photo identification card similar to a driver's license, so you could use it for identification. In essence, the substitute amendment that I had read for it had in committee with them, and the committee did not vote on it. Did not vote on either one of them. But it was what I call the Real ID. Everything had to have a photo. Military identification would have been adequate. Passport identification photo adequate. Anything that you could use today to get on an airliner with your photo would be acceptable identification for voting purposes. That was, there was no exception. You could not have a library card, a utility bill, or use other easily duplicated things. You had to have a photo. That was, and that's the answer. And I will support I will introduce and support any strict photo voter ID plan that we develop.
Thank you. Zach.
www.capital.state.tx.us. capital.state.tx.us. It's an awesome website. You can go there and you can see the bills that folks actually file. Go there, you can pull it up by representative, and ask yourself if the bill you just heard described was actually filed. My friend, Mr. Jones, will tell you I didn't file it. I had it ready as an amendment so I could move it out at the right time. I'll tell you that some things are so important and so basic that we need to stake out where we are. My voter ID bill that I'll file the first day I'm in the legislature has been on my website since we announced in September. It's very simple. State government, federal government, photo ID, period. It's there. Go look at it. Go to capital.state.tx.us, see if you see anything else like that that our good friend has filed. He just didn't. I wish he had it. The vote is the basic unit of our democracy. We have to protect that. I disagree with my friend Mr. Perry here. It's not going to get voted on early, and it's not going to be easy, and it's not a fait accompli. It's going to be hard work, because there are some people, for some reason, in the legislature who see voter ID as a dragon, as a racist issue, for goodness sakes. I took my beautiful wife to the movies last night, and I didn't have any cash, so I paid with a credit card. You know what I had to give them to do that? My driver's license. Isn't that okay? Shouldn't we have as much verification of who you are to vote as to buy 2 tickets to see a George Clooney movie? Shouldn't those be at least the same? And don't you want somebody who's going to fight for that hard and effectively from day one? Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, well, that's the end of the formal portion of this. Thank you. We do have about 14 minutes left. Does anyone have any questions for the candidates? Yes, ma'am.
Will each of you try to work and get a veterinary medical school for Texas Tech?
We ended with you starting first. Let's start again here, and we'll let everyone have time to answer the same question as well.
Yeah, a new medical school.
No, veterinary medical school.
Veterinary. That's one that's been approved for Texas Tech.
Yeah, back in the 70s.
15 years. And has never been properly funded. It's never been funded anyway. And I would be an advocate for it, have been in the past. But I'll tell you, you're fighting an uphill battle that's been fought many times.
I know.
I would hope we could get it. We need it.
Yes.
I'm not scared of uphill battles that have been fought before. I think the vet school is part of a bigger issue, respectfully, and I think that issue is getting Texas Tech to Tier 1 status. The vet school can obviously be a critical component of that. You're not going to get that unless Texas Tech decides that's part of their priority path to Tier 1. It has to start locally, obviously. But the thing about Tier 1 that's really important, we have a beautiful new freeway a lot of us drive on. It makes you feel like you live in a real city, doesn't it? Pretty cool. And the reason we got there is we had somebody who was there in the legislature throughout the process it took to build that sucker. Didn't get done in 1 session, didn't get done in 2 sessions, didn't get done in 3 sessions. That freeway is named after a basketball coach, and that's wonderful. I think it ought to be named after a state senator, but I'm a little biased. But that's how you get those things done. I'm the only candidate in this race. Matter of fact, I'm the only legislative candidate from Lubbock who can look you in the eye and say, if the people send me there and keep sending me back, I will be in that body until Tier 1 crosses the line. Texas Tech has given me and my family more than I could ever repay. The least that I can do is devote however much time it takes to get Tier 1 across the line. I hope a vet school's part of that. Obviously, I'm an ag guy. I come from that part of the deal, and I understand that the demand for vets is not just being driven by ag, it's being driven by companion animals, but that's a field we need to be sensitive to and respond to. So I'll work hard for it, and I'll do it for the long haul.
I agree with pretty much everything Zach's got on that task. I will say from a practical matter, Tier 1's huge and we're going to move forward on Tier 1, but as a practical matter, we're facing a $1 billion deficit before we ever start legislative session the next term, due in large part to unfunded mandates hitting the federal system. We're going to be faced with challenges that the state hasn't seen in years, and it's going to require tough priorities and funding. Now, does that mean that the vet school's not going to be a piece of that? I think the quickest way to get that process funded is to make it part of the Tier 1. So if I was kind of moving towards that or in that direction, we want to try to bundle that into the research process that Tier 1 status represents, try to get some private partnership coalitions going in that neighborhood, because it's going to take that private coalition with the research funds from other places and companies that want to get behind Tier 1 status to get those initiatives done. But I got to tell you guys that it really, at the end of the day, we've got to be really respectful as what we ask of our government to do, because there's not enough money to do everything we want to do. And we're going to have to be faced with tough priority and funding choices. So all those to say is obviously anything that's good for Tech is good for Lubbock. It's good for this area. It's good for this region. We want that. But at the same time, I'm realistic and pragmatically speaking enough to know that we are going to be faced with tough decisions. And until we get the federal out of the state, and until we get our constituents grounded in what is important to survive, i.e. water, is one of those issues in this region that if we don't get serious about it today and start putting in plans that will come to fruition in the next 10 to 15 years. We actually have places that will run out of water in less than 5 years. This was from Senator Duncan yesterday. I listened to him speak about water. Very bright guy, very hard-working guy. We're fortunate to have him. But that's what I got to be honest with you. We're going to have tough decisions to make as priorities.